What's up, bro?
I'm blessed. Thank you for I swear to God, thank you for blessing me with this. You my mans. Like, to me, thank you. Because I understand I'm brand new at this. You feel me? So having somebody like you to come in and bless us with your, like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Well, and especially since I've been following you fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
Probably more, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been a big fan of yours forever. You understand? And as an amateur, I remember you used to run through the amateurs. Like you ran through the nationals like somebody would do a show fight, the Golden Gloves. Like that's how you
and then 2 months later do it again, right?
and then do it again. Spin the block.
That's a fact.
Spin the block and do it again. Yo, Danny.
Well, like, dog. I realistically, like, and honestly, truthfully speaking, I think, like, I can't remember any of my true biggest fans and like real friends and supporters from day one. So anything that you got going on, like, just from this boxing to whatever it is, bro, I'm going to support you because you've supported me since day one, and I appreciate you, bro. For real.
Listen, since day one, awesome. Anything else would be uncivilized.
That's a fact.
I'm tripping right now.
That neighborhood love. Max. It's all good. It's all good.
All good.
Nice to meet you, Danny.
Likewise,
I'm a huge fan too, bro. You don't even know, man. So it's awesome to be talking to you. Yeah.
Likewise, absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you.
But Danny, cool. Yes, like man, like the amateurs was an insane time. I never turned pro, so the amateurs is all I know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you came in with the 2000, a little bit of the 14, but mostly the 2018.
Right.
And both teams, you was winning nationals, beating top guys.
Yeah.
Give us some of the names that you beat as an amateur that people would know who they are today. Who do you fought? When did you draw?
It's a lot. I've been in there with a lot of different guys, and just to give a few, I would probably say some of the likes that have been world champions and guys that people would know. Sean Porter, that was like one of my biggest rivals. I love that guy. Him and I shared some amazing rounds together in the square ring.
Yes, sir.
Another guy that Demetrius Andre. We fought in the amateurs. Who else is of known that I fought? I mean, it's kind of coming to my mind so fast, but if I get to really listen and looking at all of my accomplishment, I've known that I've stepped in there with a lot of different guys, and it's just crazy to see everybody.
What weight did you fight those guys at?
I fought guys at middleweight and super middleweight.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. Actually,
Sean probably lighter, right?
Like, I started at 147.
Okay.
I can remember everything because I fucking know. I was like, listen, I'm his fan.
Eric's your catalog.
I'm 52 and 65. I'm his fucking fan. I already know what he did.
That's a fact.
52 and 65.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yes, sir.
I
started out at 47 and I ended it at 65, but I mostly campaigned at like 65, 52.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
So what? So tell me, since your last fight, what's been going on with Danny Jacobs? What's popping?
Since my last fight, I've been doing a lot of, I would probably say just like self-evaluation and, trying to put the pieces together because, obviously my last performance in the last fight was probably one of the worst performances of my career. And
yes, sir.
The whole pandemic affected a lot of people in a lot of different ways. 2020 in general was just a crazy year. And so I'm not exempt from, taking a step back and trying to fix the issues that was at hand. And so I'm just trying to get myself back together. I'm excited about boxing again. We able to, even though we're still in semi-pandemic, we're able to travel a lot more. And so I'm able to see and be a part of the culture a little bit more. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about what's to come because regardless to my last performance, I still was a victor, and I still have opportunities that will present themselves in the near future. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to, still be able to have opportunities in the super middleweight division coming up for the middleweight division. But
yes, sir.
I also look forward to, just like I said before, going back to the drawing boards and fixing the necessary things to bring that spark out of me that, people are used to seeing.
So,
Yes,
Danny, middleweight's not 100% out of, like, in the rearview mirror. Like, you're still able to go down to middleweight for the right fight.
Yeah, for the right fight, I think anything makes sense. Catch weight is a beautiful thing in boxing too, so we got to try to use that to our best ability. But at the same time, I think that true champions and true fighters really don't worry about too much about weight, and if they really believe that their skills can make them the best in the division, then let's do it. But I'm not exempt from anyone from the middleweight division to the super middleweight division. So
they make it happen. I know that in your professional career, you've been in with like you were saying, the amateurs and the top guys, and the same thing with the pros. The top guys you've been in the ring with. You understand? What was your fight in the ring professionally where you learned the most? Win, lose, or draw, where you learned the most?
I think it was the Golovkin fight. I think I might have learned the most because at that time too, he had so much buzz, and there were so many criticizers and people who were naysayers and said that I couldn't accomplish anything based off of, this notion that he was unstoppable. And so
yes, sir,
I had to kind of come into my own to block, all distractions. And, as a man, and not only as a fighter, but you elevate from situations to where your back is against the wall and, everyone counts you out. And so I had to mentally get to that place to where I can go inside the ring and truly believe I, could win, even though I knew I had the skill. It's just about the belief and the mental aspect. So I think in that fight, I learned a lot about myself as a fighter and as a man, truly. Yeah.
To me personally, and that fight against Triple G, you showed more dog in that fight.
Oh man,
than
that was a tenacious performance.
Yes, like you was the guy. You was the guy that everybody had wrote off in terms of beating Triple G. And like you said, that's when nobody wanted to fight Triple G. Triple G had to fight welterweights because nobody at middleweight wanted to fight him.
True, yeah.
And you stepped to the plate and you took it to him. You gave him a dog for you, like, and you could box, but you made it a dog fight.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Did you break his ribs or injure something, or did you break a bone in him or something?
I don't know. I don't know what happened in that fight in terms of his injuries, but I know I left a everlasting effect on him, and I think that might truly, affect if we might even get a rematch because that fight was so controversial. A lot of people thought I won, so I think he might agree with that. So let's see what happens.
That would be fantastic sequel. Yeah, man. Hey, I had a question, Danny, and this could be just me not knowing everybody that's in the DAZN / Matchroom stable and ability to make fights, but so obviously this year, I'm sure most of your fights, if not all your fights, are going to be on DAZN. You're with Matchroom. Eric and I talk somewhat about the aspects of the promoting and kind of like the current era's, difficulties with promoting. But regardless of that, it seems like at 160 to 168, there's a lot of guys at PBC and they only fight each other for the most part. But do you feel like maybe there's some guys, across the pond or across the street that that you want to fight that, at PBC that, you might, you might have to ask your promoter to stretch themselves to make those fights?
So, I mean, that's a good question. But one thing about me is, and one thing I also take pride in is that in my career, in terms of, the control in which I have over my career and the ability to be able to, as you say, cross the pond. I live in the water, and so I'm able to go to whatever Caribbean Sea and whatever island I want to go and just chill. And if it makes sense for me, that's where I'll go. I have a great and amazing team, that represents me, and that, we stand firm on what we truly believe. And, I've just been grateful to have plenty of opportunities. And so we talk about the Zone, we talk about PBC and all these other different networks. I'm actually currently a free agent. My last fight with the Zone was the Gabe Rosado fight. And so I'm currently looking for big opportunities with big fights. So wherever that opportunity leads me, we'll see what happens. But I'm open for, good fights, great opportunities, and, that championship, because that's honestly, truly what my desires is, to be a two-time or however many division I can accomplish some belts I want to accomplish them. So,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be excited to see that.
Me personally, my favorite, like, of all the promotion companies out now, you got Top Rank, you got The Zone, or you got Matchroom, you got PBC, you got so many. My favorite has always been PBC. What took you away from PBC into The Zone?
I think it wasn't necessarily what PBC was doing wrong, because PBC is a tremendous stable and, company, and, they cater to the fans, and, they're all about the action. And, during this whole pandemic, they were able to also give the fans what they want with big fights. So, cheers off to all the promoters who was able to still, do what they do and give the fans what they want throughout the pandemic. But I think it wasn't a specific reason in terms of a bad, situation that might have happened in PBC. It was more so looking for opportunities that was, as we say, across the water. And so I had to, with the help and the blessings of Al Heyman, because, Al has been my manager since I first started. Al is, been in my career. Obviously, if you know anything about Al, he's always going to play, behind the scenes. So no one truly knows his relationship in my career and in my life. And so I just look forward to big opportunities wherever that may lead me. But at the same time, I started up good with PBC, and I went to the Zone for opportunities that couldn't present themselves in PBC.
Yeah, because at PBC, you had this, I can see that. And you was, by you going for bigger and better, you had this throwing the champ at PBC in your weight class at the time. A couple of the champs, you were there, you had the throne. So, and then obviously, okay, I'm finished here. What's next? I can understand that.
Yeah. And then it's like, as a fighter, you want to be able to fight whoever the fans and, the boxing world deem to be the best. And so it's unfair sometimes for the fighters to go through the whole chaos of the promoter versus promoter and network versus network. It's like, it's unfair to the fighters. And I just truly believe that something needs to be resolved to where, everybody can fight everybody. So I've just been fortunate and blessed to have blessings from, people who work with different networks and stables and still allow me to show my talents and, allow me to still get opportunities. So
can you do me a little bit of a favor? Because I've been knowing you forever.
Yeah.
And you're a very solid boxer. You can box. And you're a dog too. You know what I'm saying? Don't think, just because he boxes. No, ain't nothing pussy about him.
Well, that's a fact.
And the motherfucker will knock you out.
That's a fact.
The fighter in me, I'm watching Danny, and I know Danny. I want to see Danny incorporate sometimes a bit more. Like, sometimes I think Danny's standing too straight up, and his technique is solid. You understand what I'm saying? He's sharp. But I think Danny's standing too straight up sometime and probably not bending the knees this much, and you know what I'm saying, upper body movement side to side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you can do that because I done been there. Mm-hmm. I'm not these other motherfuckers out here that just saw you when you turned pro.
Right. Well, you know, I think the cool thing about boxing is like there's advanced boxing, there's, you know, all different forms of boxing that you could present, but there's nothing better than the basics. And sometimes when you get too advanced or you get too out of the basics, sometimes you just got to backtrack to, you know, what you normally do or what got you to that point. And I agree with you. I think a lot of my success came from my legs and me boxing and using my boxing ability. And I just think that the pro ranks may have, in the pro style, may have hindered and affected just the way I perform a little bit in terms of how they orchestrate who wins fights and how they judge fights and so on and so forth. So in the amateur system, you know, you had to let them hands fly, you had to get them points and you had to rack it up. And so your mind was sharp and you was ready to go. And it just was a certain level of energy. And so I need to get back to that and incorporate it into my pro style. So
I just know that a lot of judges and a lot of fighters out there, like you said, it's still a pro style and something motherfuckers gotta get accustomed to. But I know that a lot of fighters out there want the stand-up Danny Jacobs. They want that stand-up Danny Jacobs because that other Danny Jacobs is gonna submit a problem to him, and they can't solve that equation.
That's a fact.
You can do like Danny. Listen, you the fucking Danny Jacobs show. You can do so fucking much. I believe
that. No, I believe that. I just think that like
fucking much.
It takes all the pieces to be put together. And I think when you try to do certain things on your own or from your own perspective, sometimes you just need to go back to what got you to that point. And so I'm just excited about all the opportunities that's going to present themselves. I'm still blessed to have another shot at it and to prove myself. I mean, my fans know what's up. Like, you know, the people of the boxing world know what it is. And, you know, I don't stand in a position where I'm, you know, I stand clear from judgment. I mean,
yes, sir.
You know, if I perform the way that I did, you know, I'm a public, top competitive world-class fighter. So I know that there's going to be judgment with that. And I've gone through that process and I've understand all the things that I've done wrong and understand that people have a right to their opinion, right? Especially hardworking people who pay to see fighters. So I get that. And I'm going to do my every best to make sure things are different next time around. But, you know, I'm excited about the future. There's another chance.
On that note, Danny, are we likely to see you fight once or twice this year? And are those fights going to be at like 168 most likely? Are there any plans in the works?
Obviously, me moving up to 68, that would be probably at 68. But whatever opportunity presents itself, we'll see what happens. But for me, if I could fight twice, that would be a beautiful thing. But with this pandemic happening, just and cross in the hopes that, you know, we can get in as much as we can. So
I know that in 2004 or 2005, one of those years, you was fighting 165. Fucking 16 years later, fifth whatever, 168. 3 pounds.
Yeah.
That's 3 pounds. Me personally, if the fight is at 60, you got to make 60 Friday, and then you rehydrate. Whatever you fight Saturday, you fight Saturday. I just know that when you was a kid, you was 165, and you've grown. You've grown physically. And that was fucking damn near 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like, making 60, did you have a good time making 60?
Depending on what point in my career. Professionally, in the beginning of my career, I think it wasn't a hard time at all. I mean, I was fighting, you know, pretty consistent in the beginning of my career.
Yeah,
almost every month, if I can remember. But when things the competition started to get a little harder, obviously, and time started to go, you start to get a little bit older, it starts to become a little bit more challenging. So, you know, there is a such thing as you outgrowing your weight class, and some guys can hold on to it for, you know, as long as they can, and then some guys just give in and just move up and take their chances. But for me, I was able to, you know, actually I was really just in the prime of a bubbling middleweight division, and so I couldn't leave based off of my uncomfortability and not making weight. I just had to make that another thing that we had to sacrifice. And so sometimes it hindered my performance, sometimes it didn't, but for the most part, it really never allowed me to truly, fully be myself. And so I just think moving up to super middleweight is a breath of fresh air, because I don't have to have the struggle of weight anymore, and you know what I'm gonna eat in camp the last week to make, like, there's just a bunch of things that just comes with stress. And at this level of competition, you want to be able to make sure you can solely focus on preparing for the fight the best to your ability, and to mentally prepping for, you know, battle. You know, you can die inside the ring, but you know, these are some of the things that you have to take on, and so everything else is just a distraction. So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Going real quick back to you know, because you're so sort of like, you're one of the more intellectual, like, well-spoken boxers out there, right? And your insight on the promoting stuff, you know, there's been in the boxing news, you know, Terence Crawford situation and his statements recently about how he's just done with the Spence fight. And like the promoting difficulties of that whole situation. Like, do you have any opinion on that, and whether or not, like, Terence Crawford can, like, end his career without fighting the guys, you know, at PBC, and still, like, imagine if you never fought, you know,
right, the top tiers of my
all the top tier guys, you know what I mean? Like, how do you end your?
I mean, I just think it's a tough situation too, because the desire is there to truly show that you're the best. And, you know, this boxing world is so competitive. Even from the amateurs, we knew we was going to fight these guys, you know, at this stage in our careers. So there's a level of bragging rights that comes with this too.
Right.
So the frustration that grows from the networks and, you know, promoters, and you know, sometimes I just wish that they could get in the ring and square it off and just settle their differences. So
that could make some money. That could make some money.
Make some money. Could you imagine Bob Arum squaring down with somebody?
Bob Arum,
with Don King.
Let's go.
Right,
there you go, Eric. That's funny.
I just think, you know, it is frustrating. I can feel his pain, because he's so talented. To me, he is pound for pound for me. I think just what he brings to the table is just so different, man. And I love him, and I love his family. I think he is gonna be going down in history with or without those big top tier fights.
Of course,
that's what the fans want, you know, and that's what also fighters want. So it's just, we'll have to wait out and see. But I understand his frustration, especially from some recent, you know, comments from promoters and so on and so forth. So
are you optimistic or pessimistic that it ever happens?
I'm optimistic. I'm always optimistic.
Okay.
I mean, I never really thought I would fight a Canelo Alvarez or Gennady Golovkin at one point in my career. So, you know, as things transitioned, you know, especially after cancer, when I came back, I didn't think I would truly have any opportunity. So I'm always optimistic and see what happens. So, you know, it's all about the mind, you know.
Yep.
I just know that at 135, Terence Crawford was the champ. He beat the man. At 140, he had every belt.
Yeah.
I don't think Terence Crawford gets the respect that he deserves in terms of his competition. I mean, he did get Amir Khan out of there at 47. And don't get me wrong, we know that Amir Khan is chinny. That's a great name for his fucking resume. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think nobody else at welterweight who has, like, correct me if I'm wrong, who has a bigger name than Amir Khan in terms of name at 47?
That Crawford fought?
No. Who at 47 has a bigger name than Amir Khan on their resume? Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, that's
nobody. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from Danny Garcia. I'm not taking nothing away from Sean Porter. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those is amazing fighters. And like I said, Amir Khan is trendy, but if you look at Amir Khan's accomplishments in the ring, Olympic silver medalist, several-time world champ, like that motherfucker got a name on him.
Yeah, he been bubbling since the amateurs. I remember he had that whole.
Been bubbling. So get that motherfucker his flowers. Don't get me wrong, he got knocked out a few times, yeah. But you can't say that motherfucker not a dog.
No, he accomplished a lot.
Oh, definitely.
He even fought Canelo. Amir Khan is a dog.
Yeah.
Amir Khan is a dog. So Terence Crawford got that name on his resume. Terence Crawford got Yuriorkis Gamboa. When Gamboa was an undefeated killer, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, killing lightweight, undefeated. Terence Crawford got that name on his resume. At 47, he ain't got no big names, but you can't front like he didn't beat the guy. They stopped the guy that beat Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Well, I also think that he doesn't get enough credit for the guys he has beaten, like Jose Benavidez, the Mean Machine. Like those are quality opponents just because they don't have the name.
Diaz was an Olympic gold medalist. Don't get me wrong, Benavidez, he got shot or some shit.
Right. But
good name on his resume.
A dog.
Good name on his resume. And Benavidez did come to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bud is my pound for pound number one today too. I'm not gonna lie. Danny, I got a question, Danny.
What's up, bro?
I'm from Brooklyn, nigga. Well, I'm from Florida, really, but
you born in Florida?
I'm from Florida. I'm from Florida.
Nigga, I told you, Brooklyn, born and bred.
Fuck you mean this nigga here?
You a traitor.
I'm from Florida, baby. I'm from Florida. But let me tell you what happened. Like my mom's, everybody's still in Florida. Let me tell you what happened. I still got that in me. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just my demeanor. It's just who I am. I understand that. So I get straight to the point. Who Danny Jacobs want? Who Danny Jacobs want? Who like, yeah, motherfucker, you. Like, you know how I call you up? I'd be like, yo, Danny, I'd have stopped you on the Golden Gloves.
Yeah, right.
Like that kind
stupid.
of fucking energy. You feel
random ass
that sounds like Eric. Oh, that's crazy.
So, Danny, who
I
Danny
think
Jacobs
for me, honestly, it would even be like disingenuous if I would say I would want to fight this person. Like, I want to fight them all. Like, I truly want a belt. I want the champs. I want someone who makes sense. So many guys, even that middleweight, that still makes sense. But at super middleweight, there are extreme amount of talents, and I'm the new guy on the block. So, I still got some proving to do, and guys are still looking to make their names off of me. And so, that's a fact. That's also going to drive me, and that's also going to allow me to have those good opportunities. And so, it's really just up to me to create the narrative of change and be the best version of myself.
I got a question. What weight is Chris Eubank at 60?
No, I think he's at super middleweight.
All right, get him out of there.
Yeah. I haven't heard about him fighting lately, but
yeah, get him out of there.
Good. He got some talent, man.
His father was the man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get him out of there. He not fucking with the Danny Jacobs show. But yeah, his father was the man. His father was the man,
That's a fact.
He not fucking with the Gennady Golovkin show. I'm gonna call it what it is. Right. 68 right now. Like you remember, you got Charlo 68. You got but is that
Benavidez.
You got Benavidez.
Right.
Benavidez at 68. So 68. You got
up there. There's a little bit more guys than we just mentioned too, but there's kind of like this luck surrounding the middle and super middleweight division for like the last 5, 6, 7 years, man. It's just been bubbling. So I'm just trying to take advantage of it. And still being one of the key players, I know that I still can make a mark. Yeah,
and you can, because you fought everybody that was somebody. win, lose, or draw, you gave that motherfucker a fight.
Right.
Like
when they were somebody too. Yeah, for sure.
They felt you. They like, oh shit.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You did that. So even in your losses, you won. Your stock went up.
Yeah, no, definitely a lot of lessons to be learned in this boxing game. So it's all about perspective. And if you never have a losing mentality or ever felt like you took in the loss, then you've learned from your mistakes. And that's how I try to go about it. But
that's a fact. That's
the Golovkin sequel would be a fun one. That would be a fun one.
Cool one. I don't see why it couldn't happen. I would love that.
And that would be a get back. So
fucking go down.
Right.
That's the one that need that rematch.
That'll be sick. Yeah,
I need to see that one.
Anything interesting going on outside of boxing, Danny? Anything you're looking towards for the future, like, you know, promoting yourself or, you know?
I mean,
anything like that?
I would be remiss if I said anything other than what I'm truly focused on right now, and that's just building myself back up to being that killer.
We like to hear that.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't focused on nothing else other, like, life is good for me too, but at the same time, like, I got to go back to that kid in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, who used to have to hitch a ride to get to the gym and, you know, was sparring all the killers inside the gym and was learning and was excited about the sport. So I'm getting that back and it's exciting. The
first fight I saw at Barclays Center, Danny, was you versus Peter Quillen. And and that was a hell of a performance. That was the tenacity, man. That's the Danny Jacobs, you know, we're excited to see.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna
that was a big promotion to that fight. That was
I really love that promotion. That was a good one. Shout out to Showtime for really doing it big for the both of us. We wasn't like superstars at the time, but at the time, you know, they was willing to back us and give us our own, you know, series on
it's like
the network.
The battle for Brooklyn, right?
The battle for Brooklyn, yeah, that was cool.
Yep.
So, you know, memories, I love it.
Yeah, and like and you, like, you know what I'm saying? Carpe diem. You seize the moment when it was that time, and you did what you had to do, and your stock rose, and like I said, even in your losses, somehow your stock continuously rise, and you've been in the ring, you beat some very good guys. You understand? And so, like, you're a fighter that no one can never count out. No one can never count you out, because you always just show and prove, even when they don't think you're gonna be.
Right.
They're like, niggas didn't think he was gonna do that.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? People didn't have you. I remember we was in BB King's, and you and Petey was there, and I grabbed both of y'all up and hugged y'all, took a picture. I said, listen, I'm not going for nobody.
Yeah.
May the best man win. I'm not going for nobody. May the best man win. And the best man won that night. Like that. That's just how it happened. That's how the cookie crumbled. But yeah, you always came through and you gave a show, buddy. I like that. I fucks with you.
Bro. Thank you, my bro. I
appreciate you. You my brother. Yes, how's your family? How your boy?
Everybody good. Little man's good. He's chilling, man. We just finished going over some homework and stuff. He's gearing up for spring break, so
yeah,
you know, he's excited to spend some time.
Nice,
with him,
man.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yo, you know who owned the number one boxing gym?
Eric Kelly.
Good guess.
Is a big pussy pork. Yo,
I know what's up.
Yo, do you see that shit, my nigga? Like, you be looking at that shit like, oh shit, this nigga really, like, then you see that shit, right?
I see you.
I'm a bad boy, Danny. Listen.
Yes,
I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? And that's that Danny Jacobs energy, though. One door might close. I'm so motherfucking potent that I'm gonna open another door and come back bigger and better than ever.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So that energy right there alone, I love that. You know what I'm saying? That's inspiring, and that's what keep me popping. That's why, yo, I'm about to get Danny Jacobs on my show. I'm about to get Danny Jacobs on my show, but we're gonna talk that shit. You feel
good, brother. I'm glad I can be on this joint, man. Anything to support my bro.
My man, I appreciate you so much. Yes, I do think I would have got you on the Golden Gloves, probably like I would have got you 4-1 in the gloves.
Hey man, that's debatable, bro. Because I really, like, my amateur career, especially a dude coming from New York, I could really brag about, what I done out there when it was hot and it was bubbling. Because my era still, it started to get a little soft afterwards, but I come from one of the last realest eras.
You come from, listen, let me tell you something. The last era, damn, I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
It has to be maybe
after Marcus Brown or like.
The last era, you were successful in the last era. But I think the last era that was dangerous, the most dangerous, but 2008 did exceptionally well.
Yeah, no, it did.
Like, if you look at 2008, that era, who became champ? Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Daniel Jacobs, Deontay Wilder,
Terence Crawford,
Andre, Rashi Warren, like so many people from that era. But 2004 put on. I was a 2000 guy.
Yeah.
And I think my era was your era. But I was a 2000 guy. And,
who is your era's heavyweight? Jason Estrada?
Jason Estrada? No, Jason Estrada. It was Calvin Brock. He was the
You don't think Deontay would have did something? You don't think Deontay would have washed Brock?
And the pros?
And the amateurs.
Let me tell you something. Deontay Wilder wasn't going to get past Jabril Williams.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he was good too, but
Deontay
was good at it, even as an amateur, bro.
Let me tell you, he was Olympic bronze medalist. He was not getting us out, of course. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Everybody in the world will tell you Jabril Williamson was the most dangerous man in history. Jabril Williamson touched a sleep. He knocked out the Cubans.
I can't argue that.
Brian Valoria used to stop the Russians.
Who was your welterweight?
Huh?
Who was your welterweight?
Larry Mosley.
Who's that?
You know what, Bob?
I feel like I should know that, right?
I need to learn all these names. I don't know.
Three-time U.S. champ, Goodwill game, silver medalist. He lost in the Olympic box office. He won the Olympic trials, but he lost in the Olympic box office to Dante Craig. Look up Larry Mosley.
I'm gonna look him up.
All right. Yo, Danny, I appreciate you. You my brother. You was the best in your era. I fucks with you.
Appreciate
you my
that,
bro.
brother. Thank you.
God bless you. Much respect to you and your family. Thank you so much for blessing us.
Can't wait to see you Can't wait to see you back in the ring, Danny.
I appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
All right.
SouthBoX Radio. Peace. How you feel, champ?
Oh, dude, that was great, man. Talking to Danny, he's a true like people's champion, and what a hell of a guy, man. So
he's the man. He blessed us.
That was dope. That was
blessed
dope.
us with that. Yo, we only got we got Danny Jacobs, we got Danny Garcia. He blessed us with.
We're killing it, and you're lining up these interviews. You got those connections, Eric. So
listen, we doing.
Let's keep it up.
We doing what we got to do, and now our job is to do what we do. You do your job the best. I do my job the best. We the best.
I love it.
Thank you,
let's keep it up, brother. I'll let you know when I get this video locked and loaded, and we'll get it up on the site.
Get it locked and loaded. SouthBoX Radio. Peace.
All right, later, brother.